thing that's different from most parenting books is that instead of having two parents writing it together, we thought we'd take a different approach and have a parent and his child writing together, because we've joked about how there's a lot of parenting books about parents bragging about how amazing their kids all turned out, or there's books by these children talking about how horrible and tragic and how their parents messed up their whole lives and everything. So we thought it would be interesting to do a project together to kind of get both sides of it.
As long as I got to write the last words in each chapter. But also, it's not a book where we just spell out step by step, this is what you do to be a good parent. But what we really do is we look at conventional wisdom. And conventional wisdom is what people just typically do in mass. And that oftentimes means what how your parents raised you is how you default and typically raise your kids, or what everyone else is doing, all the other parents in your church or in your school, what typically society says this is what a good parent does. And so without even thinking about it, we just kind of parent the same way. And we call that conventional wisdom. It's just considered by the majority of society to be the way you do it. But the reality is that the results aren't all that impressive. Statistics say perhaps 70% or more of young people that grow up going to church will walk away from the faith by the time they hit college. And so we see a lot of statistics that are saying, well, the conventional way of doing things is creating a lot of dysfunction and brokenness. And so maybe conventional wisdom isn't always the best way. And so really what this book is about is pushing back against stuff that parents have just assumed that's what parents do. And pushing back to say, no, it may be okay for one of your kids, but maybe not for the next child. So we just want you to think through carefully what you're doing and ask yourself, am I getting the results with this that I want for my children? And if not, do you have the courage to go against the grain everyone else is going and do something totally different for the sake of your child?